Hi, I'm Alex Devlin, and I'm here with Shara Sendroff, co-founder and CEO of Intern Sushi. Shara, talk a little bit about what Intern Sushi is.
So Intern Sushi is a website that completely reinvents the hiring process for interns. So the 17 to 24 demographic, and really beyond, because we're for career changers too, needs a better outlet to tell their story. A resume just doesn't do anyone justice. You can write a skill or a list of skills, but it doesn't show your personality. It doesn't show how you fit culturally into a company. So what we do is completely replace the resume with a digital profile that allows any intern to use multimedia to tell their story and to apply to companies the same way. So the transparency, hence the sushi name, is about allowing interns and companies to showcase who they are and therefore create a much longer term match.
Why interns? How did you come up with the idea? Why not go right to career?
Because talent starts when you're 5, let alone 15, 16, 17, 18. And what we're looking at within the hiring space is a demographic of insanely talented individuals who just don't find their place among companies because they're hidden behind a piece of paper. So starting with a demographic who would naturally accept multimedia, they use videos, images, they're all everywhere, on phones, on computers, and really embrace the technology that they've embraced, felt like the most natural place to start to go on to change the entire hiring process.
So do you feel like finding an internship has changed a lot since you were an intern and when you were looking?
That's the goal of what we're trying to do. We're really trying to change it, because the problem is that we have kids wherever they are in the country and the world who so desperately want the opportunity to intern or to even work or to even have a window into the industries in the world that they really want to take part in, but they don't have a chance to really access those companies. We have an access problem. We have kids who dream of working for these types of people, but if they don't have a mom or an uncle or a brother who can get them in the door, they don't have a chance to show that they're worth being there. So what we're trying to completely reinvent is the way that you go out and find internships and then how you obtain them.
How do you decide I'm gonna put that job aside for a minute, something where I have security, I'm being paid, I can afford an apartment, I can afford to live my life right now, and say, I'm gonna go follow this dream that I have and try to make this a reality? How do you kind of decide, I'm gonna leave something so secure to the side and take a big risk? Why did you feel like it was just the right time? And
I think that when you're looking at an opportunity, you can often get caught in feeling secure, and it's like gambling. When you place a bet, you have to know that that bet is going to make you move forward. And I think it's about betting on yourself. And I knew that even though I had a secure job and a secure salary, this was something I was sure I was going to be successful with, because that's how much I believed in it and that's how much I believed in myself. And that's what it comes down to, is that if you're timid in any way, shape, or form, and you don't know that when you reach an obstacle you are going to overcome it, you're never going to be able to. You have to have the confidence to know that I can do this better than anybody else. And that's really, really important when you're starting your own company and when you're taking any risk, because it's a risk, but not if you feel like there's no one who could do it better.
once you decided, this is what I'm gonna do, this is the path I'm gonna take, for people that are, trying to start their own companies, and they just don't know where to start or they don't know where to go, what would you say to them? What are some of the steps the concrete steps that you took to get this company off the ground?
I mean, we all have ideas, but it's important to figure out whether an idea can become a reality by way of whether or not there is a market for it. You could be sewing clothes or you could be making bracelets, but if there is not a sustainable audience who will purchase something from you or who will use your service in a long-term way that will translate to revenue, then you don't have a business, you just have a fun idea and a project. And so it's important when you're trying to decide whether you want to start something on your own or whether you want to go off and risk your life to follow an idea, that you will get validation and that you'll be able to find enough of an audience to sustain it, because you'll spend too much money trying and you'll throw it all out the window if you don't.
Now, looking down the road, you've got the company off the ground and you say, who is the first person that I'm going to hire to be a part of my team with me? Who was it, and how did you kind of make that decision? Because obviously that's a big deal. It's the first person that you're really trusting to help you grow this company.
It's interesting because when you're working to get something off the ground, it's not so much that you go out into the world and look for people to hire. It's that you turn to the people who make the most logical sense and who are going to share your passion. And that doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a full-time employee. So for me, at the time, it was actually my assistant in the film industry when I was producing movies that just watched every step of this idea. And it made perfect sense that she had seen it from every angle possible. And so when we were going to start, she was just so passionate about what we were doing that it made perfect sense for me to bring her over to Intern Sushi. So you have to find people that are passionate, not necessarily people who, at the beginning, who you're going to find on the street. It's all about a skill set. It's about talent. It's about figuring out, as an entrepreneur, you have to place the most talented people around you. And I struggle with that every day. I look at my company, I look at the people that are around me, and I say, are you smarter than me? Because if you're not, then you're not going to take us anywhere. I need people that can say, Shara, we shouldn't be doing it this way, and here's a better way to do it.